We're ready to start. The first presenter is here. And the first presentation this morning on the Deep Tech stage. She's the partner at Iron Wolf Capital, the early stage fund for Baltic Deep Tech and AI. Let's welcome on the stage Miss Kari Ingrid Lilles. Welcome. Kari, how are you this morning?
Perfect. I'm doing well. I'm energized. I was just sharing with some fellow co-investors here that I wasn't really too nervous about this pitch this morning, but making it on time to this location, Riga traffic, is something else.
Exactly. Talking about time, 5 minutes are starting now. Let's go.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Kari Ingrid Lilles, and I'm a partner at Iron Wolf Capital. We are the Baltic Deep Tech and AI fund. If you haven't heard about us, here's a quick, too long, didn't read. We've been the first pan-Baltic early stage, specifically focusing on deep tech and AI fund since 2019. We have amassed a portfolio of 22 startups in our Fund 1 that we're very, very proud of across the Baltics and Baltic diaspora. And this year, we're looking to 5x our impact in the ecosystem by launching a new massive seed stage deep tech focused fund. So stay tuned for that. Our investment size ranges from €500,000 to €2 million with significant follow-on capacity as well. Our mission, we do believe that deep tech represents the true mission of venture capital, being a vehicle for fostering breakthrough innovations that can have profound impact and implications on society and economy. This is a direct quote from our managing partner, Gasparas Jurgelionis, and I can definitely sign under this statement myself. As we are a pan-Baltic fund, of course, we're big believers in the Baltic startup ecosystem and have an obsessive focus on it. As many of you here in this room know, being from the Baltics yourself, of course, the Baltics are some of the startup-friendliest regulatory environments in the world. We have, in terms of deep tech, of course, a very strong STEM talent pool and legacy in engineering and life sciences. And of course, the most important point, perhaps not to leave the last here, but we also have significant success experiences. 20 unicorn startups have already been built across the 3 Baltic countries, and we're hoping to definitely back more from our end in the deep tech space. This is our team. We're a diverse and complementary team of 6 and growing right now, based across different startup hubs all over Europe. And in terms of profiles, we include exited founders, finance and M&A professionals, ex-operators with various different specialties and expertise, as well as impact experts. Although all of us have been raised in the Baltics and have our roots here, our life, studies, and work have taken us to building networks across the US, Europe, and Asia. In terms of traction, as probably startup founders in the audience would ask us about as well, we are very proud of our Fund 1 portfolio, which is thriving and constantly being featured among the fastest growing startups across Europe and also in our region. We're very proud of their strong fundraising and growth metrics, and as an example here, one of the startups that is really hitting it out the park is our AI-powered edtech startup based out of Lithuania, Turing College. Do check them out. And to finish off with our USP, what have we proven to provide as value and expertise to our portfolio companies? We have been able to meaningfully support them in scaling and go to market to countries such as Poland, Germany, and the UK. Supporting them on securing follow-on fundraising from international VCs, CVCs, and corporates. And we have also demonstrated our expertise and experience across a variety of different industries, ranging from health tech, pharma, photonics, robotics, edtech, martech, and more. So if any or all of this sounded interesting and relevant to you, please feel free to reach out. I'm here the whole day and happy to connect with you. Ačiū, paldies, and aitäh.
Thank you, Kari, for the presentation right on time. And we will attend to the questions afterwards in the fireside chat. Thank you. That was Kari. A round of applause to her. And I think we have our next presenter, and he is ready. We saw him yesterday. He's been working hard throughout Deep Tech Atelier. Let's welcome the Deep Tech Manager at Plug and Play Japan, working with various sectors, materials, electronics, energy, mobility, Mr. Hayata Okubo. Welcome.
My name is Hayata from Plug and Play Japan. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all for having me here again. And it's my pleasure to come back to Deep Tech Atelier and be the bridge between the Baltics and Asia. So for those who don't know about Plug and Play, so let me start with the overview of Plug and Play, what we are doing. So we are the seed early stage investor acting as a world leading innovation platform. So when you look at the Plug and Play by number, we have more than 25 verticals, which are industrial themes that we focus on. And we also have more than 60 locations and 80,000 startup pipelines and more than 770 employees and more than 550 corporate partners. And currently we have around 30 unicorns in our portfolio. So we are investing and connecting global startups to large corporations. And here is our global presence. So we are headquartered in Silicon Valley, so we have many presences in the States. But we also have activities in Europe. So the biggest big offices are like France and Germany and Spain. And surprisingly, Japan is the second largest office after Silicon Valley with about 70 people and 3 offices. And we also oversee Korea office from Japan. And when it comes to Japan, we are established in 2017. So basically, we are Japan branch of Plug and Play Tech Center. And we have invested 22 startups so far, and we have accelerated more than 1,000 startups. And 50% of them are from overseas, and the rest is from Japan. So although we are located in Japan, our activities are quite international. And we are focusing on these 8 verticals, from fintech to food and beverage. And we closely work with 45 Japanese corporations right now. So as you can see here, we have companies from like a financial institute, automotive, insurance, constructions, materials, etc. So most of the people are coming from corporate venture capital or innovation unit or new business development. So we are connecting global startups to these Japanese companies for collaboration and investment opportunities. And talking about the investment, so most of the investment we've done so far are from our balance sheet, but we successfully launched our first regional fund last month, which is mainly focusing on Japanese startups going global, but we have 20% of allocation for the global startups that are willing to expand into Japanese market. And regarding the kind of the open innovation activities, we are offering the business matching program for startups, which is a 3-month program. And one of the features about our program is the consortium model, where multiple corporates and multiple startups are joining at the same time to explore the collaboration opportunities. So this creates some benefits. So there are 3 advantages. One is effective, efficient business development. So you can explore the collaboration opportunities with maximum 45 Japanese corporations during the 3-month program. And the second one is end-to-end collaboration. So the collaboration format is not limited to only one corporate and one startup. So it could be multiple corporates and multiple startups, or even between the startups is possible. And third is the deep understanding of corporate needs. So we are having like bi-weekly calls with all the counterparts and even quarterly calls with executives. So we do understand what's their priority and who is the right person, and what's the right approach for each corporate partner to increase the conversion rate and success rate for the startups. So we are a nationality and stage agnostic accelerator program. And as long as you are interested in Japan, we'll be happy to explore together. And objectives can be different depending on the company. So it could be business development or gaining tractions or fundraising. So we are here to identify the objectives of each party and help startups. And here's our schedule. So it's 3-month program every 6 months, and we have like a selection process 2 to 3 months before it starts. And here's some collaboration case studies. So the SolarDuck is the startup from Dutch. They are making an offshore floating solar power system, and they successfully installed the first power system in Tokyo Bay Area with the collaboration, in the collaboration with the Tokyo Real Estate. And also, Kubota is the agricultural machinery manufacturer, and they collaborated with Zing Mobility, which is a Taiwanese startup developing immersion cooling battery systems. So they led the Series B round after meeting them through our program. So Japanese corporates can collaborate and invest in a startup. So if you're interested in the Japanese market, please feel free to talk to me at any time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hayata. Thank you for the presentation. I will see you back here on the stage in a bit. By the way, that QR code leads to the Slido platform. One good question already in there. If we want to address the question to a particular speaker, just write his name in front, log on right there. I'm already also talking to the online viewers. You can send the questions in as well. But we are moving on to the third presentation this morning. I want to see on the stage the partner from BuildIt VC, specializing in backing hardware and industry startups in the Baltics and in the Nordics. Let's welcome on the stage this morning Miss Arta Beitanen. Good morning, Arta.
Morning.
The stage is yours.
Yes, happy to be here. Essentially, in a nutshell, the moderator just presented who we are. So we are a hardware venture capital fund. I'm one of the youngest members of the team, most recently joined, but happy to tell you more. Where to a point? So we are a Riga-based venture capital fund, locally focused, locally based. We do, though, have a European mandate. Thus, if we see a good team, if you see a good fit, we're happy to invest further away. In terms of figures, it's a 20 million fund, with which we intend to back 30 teams approximately. And our investment ticket sizes range from 250K as a starting ticket up to 1.5 million follow-on investments, to proceed and grow further. As I said, and as Artis mentioned, we are hardware focused. We have been investing in software technologies as well. We have been investing in deep tech as well. And one could say we're quite agnostic, but at the end of the day, you will see in our portfolio, we like everything tangible, something that we can see, and that is there in the physical world. We do say that we like high conviction ideas, and what we mean by that is that it doesn't take long for a founder to convince us that they are onto something, right? They are not just lingering around thinking, philosophizing, this might be the thing. They know that it's a thing, and then we're super happy to jump aboard. We do like to lead at first. We're happy to be the first investor. We're happy to be the first and only coming in at the beginning. But we do expect other investors joining in quite soon, as we see that is another validation from the market. In terms of track record, we've been BuildIt as a fund has been around for roughly 10 years. It started off in Estonia 5 years ago. Came to Riga, and now we're about to launch our fourth fund, literally next week, in 2 weeks' time. About the team. So it's 5 of us in the investment team. I am super proud to have 4 colleagues with me with very various backgrounds, experiences, also preferences. So in the diversity of team, we also think that it's quite a matching game when we talk with founders. Of course, when it's the time to decide on the investment, everyone is on board. But while we are, just getting to know you, I would say talk to more than one of us, because, one might jump on it, get super excited. One might just not get it, and you want to, get the right person to convince the rest of the team. And the portfolio, you might have met some of the teams here. Cellbox Labs, Knockout Technologies, Alternative Plants, the most prominent deep tech companies in our portfolio. And yeah, what can I say? They're doing great, and we've been super happy to assist them at the early days. Mostly our advice is focused towards the business issues, the team issues, how to set up processes, how to think, short-term, medium-term, long-term. But most of the things teams are able to do themselves and do not require our assistance. How we work and what to expect. It is roughly at least 6 to 12 months getting to know each other, period. We want to be quick, but we have realized over time that it takes time to get to know each other. And I would really like to focus on the due diligence phase, which we invite founders to do the same with us, that founders also try to find out how we work. They talk with our teams, to validate how it is. And it takes time, and after 6 to 12 years, if everything goes smoothly both ways, we're happy to invest and then be together for the years to come. With that, I'm done. See you for the fireside chat.
A round of applause to Arta. Job well done. Thank you for that. See you in a bit. We have the fourth presentation this morning on our stage. The co-founder and managing director of Nova Capital, an Italian investment company with focus on early stage startups in Europe and the US, Mr. Carlo Germano Ravina. Carlo, nice to see you on the stage. It's yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are a slightly different animal compared to our colleagues presented before. We are a private company, private holding company, so we are not necessarily a fund. We invest in a similar but slightly different way. We like to say that we invest in people and innovation. We have more than 50 portfolio companies nowadays. What we aim for is 10x innovation. So radical innovation, not just stuff that is marginally better than what was there before, but really something that is breakthrough. We work across Europe and in the US, and we have also some portfolio companies in Israel. So today we have more than 12 countries in our portfolio. We are looking at the Baltic region with a lot of interest. We see a lot of innovation coming from here. We are still exploring, so it's very exciting to see all the startups that are around in this area of the world. We invest mostly in B2B technologies along 8 verticals. I will not bother you with all the verticals, but some of them are definitely very relevant. So deep tech, artificial intelligence. We are not scared of hardware. We have a lot of hardware in our companies. And we define sustainability. Our sustainability definition is something that is still relevant 10 years from now, which includes a lot of things that, for instance, people do not immediately associate with sustainability. For instance, defense, for us, is a core part of sustainability. There is no sustainability without freedom and defense. We started investing in 2019. So we are on our 6th year of the journey. We are very happy about the results. We don't publish them since we are a private company, but I was quite proud to see that Plug and Play has 30 unicorns and is much, much bigger than us, but we already have 2. So that's quite a result. We invest, I was saying, in people. We invest in disruptive innovation. What we aim to do is to build successful companies. So we are not very much focused on the short term, on the next round. We are not very much focused on the moment where we need to exit. We don't have an exit period. We don't have an investment period. We are a permanent capital kind of stuff. So we are able to look at the long term. And so we say we are different than a fund in that sense, a different focus. We are like a venture capital, but we can have the vision of an industrialist. Actually, we will see later, the investment team has no necessarily a financial background. We all come from, especially the senior part, comes from the industry, from management, from consulting. We're probably not the best one at writing a term sheet, but we've definitely been there in terms of what is real life. We have been on the other side of the barricade. So what do we bring to the table? We bring the industry experience. We have been in industry. We know the people. We have a global network. We have been working across Europe and across the world in different industries. So knowing, we do know the people that are today in the industry relevant places. We bring organizational intelligence. What do I mean by that? In many cases, companies and startups fail due to people issues. We all know that one of the most difficult things is to create the right team and the right people and the right management. We can help on that. This is something we do very often with our portfolio companies. Spend time with them to understand what they need and help them to find the right management and organize themselves in the right way. So we bring an entrepreneur to entrepreneur approach. We have been there. So we can share the histories and the scars we have, and we understand what is the pain of having a company growing. And last but not least, we bring a private capital. Private meaning is we are not funded by public bodies like the European Investment Bank or the different local investment funds. We discovered that this is a scarce resource. In a sense, is a very nice complement to the public funding. So it's something that complements very well with what is around in Europe today. This is the team. Our chairman is Paolo Merloni, who's an Italian industrialist. I am the co-founder and the managing director, and here is the rest of the team, and two of them, Marco and Lorenzo, are also here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, and please do take a seat. Do take a seat, and I want to see back on the stage Hayata, Kari, Arta, please join me on the stage. The 15 minutes have already started, and you see the QR code on the screen right now. Please do send in your questions, how we're going to do this. I'm not going to cater to your broadcast time, so if you have an answer, raise your hand, jump in. Let's make it dynamic, make it quick. And I will first attend to the audience questions because that's why we are here. And maybe afterwards we'll see what I have in my basket. But right now, first fireside chat this morning. And we have already 4 questions. I love that. All right, let's start with an overall question, not addressed to anyone particular, but an anonymous person has sent in his question. I expect an honest answer. How many years do you spend from the first contact with a startup till a term sheet? Please, not wishful, but honest answer. I think Arta already mentioned that, right?
I sort of heard 6 to 12 months, but sometimes in the first interaction you might realize, VC funding is not yet necessary. So, there might be a postponed decision. That also happens, but 6 to 12 months would be an honest. 6 to 12?
Yeah.
Maybe it really depends. So we don't have a fixed answer. That's also the beauty of being a private holding and not a fund. We can be very quick. Sometimes it's 3 to 6 to 12 months. Sometimes it's a few weeks. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks. I like to say we have an investment committee that takes place over WhatsApp. So we can be extremely fast.
Excellent.
I can definitely second that. Nothing drives venture capital like FOMO, I have to say. So certain hot deals, particularly if they're coming in through your most trusted network of other trusted co-investors or your portfolio founders, some of these deals can really go through in a weekend.
Okay.
2 weeks, right, max. But of course, we prefer to do it in a way that Anna here described as well, that we want to build a relationship over a longer time, get some data points on how the company is executing and developing. So more realistically, indeed, 6 to 12 months.
And I guess with the rapid development of technology and everything, the fear of missing out must be creeping in more and more, right? Not to miss out on things. Hayata, how does it look from your perspective?
So it depends. So we are headquartered in Silicon Valley. So if you're talking to the branch like Japan, it may take longer because we have to do a Japan investment committee and bring it up to the HQ as well. So, and we do not normally invest as a lead investor from Japan. So when it comes to follow-on investment, it normally takes 1 to 2 months.
All right, next question in our line. Arta, can you invest in Dutch-based startups as well?
Yeah,
Yeah?
why not?
All right, excellent. Quick
Looking
answer.
forward to that email.
Love that, love that. Startups and food innovations. Are tech investors interested in these types of investments? I think on the second floor we saw a food startup who was looking to go into the space ecosystem. What do you think about that? Food
Why not?
as a startup. Carlo?
Why not? It's not our focus. Frankly, it's not one of our core verticals, but why not? I think there is a lot of innovation coming in food. We are actually active, for instance, in agri-tech. So this is definitely related to food. So we have a couple of one very, very interesting portfolio company of ours is called X-Farm, and it basically provides the operating system for agricultural companies and for farmers, and is extremely successful. Is going ballistically well. Is one that we hope will become the third unicorn in our portfolio, and this has to do with growing food. But probably the question was more on really food, so synthetic meat and this kind of stuff. Yes, we would be very interested in seeing innovation there.
So just because maybe food was not accented in your or underlined in your presentations doesn't mean you wouldn't look at it, right, Herta?
So we have a food and beverage team where we work with for example, coffee companies and food and beverage companies like Asahi. Maybe you know Asahi Beer. So in Japan, I think food is quite hot because we have a lot of like biotech industrial foundations and also industrial equipment. So a lot of food companies are trying to get into like a fermentation and that kind of like a small molecular agriculture field. So that kind of field is quite promising for Japanese market.
Any more views on this? No? All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a good one. No one mentioned what they get from the investment. Shares, or is it a loan? How big of a portion of the cake do you take? That's the question. Who wants to answer first?
Love a math question. Absolutely. We're very transparent with this from our end, that we aim to be a lead or co-lead investor. And from our side, for the math to math, we are expecting to obtain around 10% holding in the company that we invest in.
Similar take, but in terms of the instrument, usually we come in with a convertible loan note, thus postponing the evaluation question to later rounds, making it quicker, but the same take to keep the company investable.
So I think we do not take that much share compared to other investors because we are following investment and our ticket size is quite small. And I think one of the values that we want to emphasize is more like access to the global network. So we prefer to invest in startups that are willing to grow globally and willing to have access to global corporations, especially like industrial players.
Okay.
We are more flexible. Again, our usual ticket is between 500K and 5 million first ticket, and we can follow on. The percentage, it varies a lot. We usually stay below 10%. We can lead or follow or co-lead, so very variable. In some very rare cases, we have taken slightly higher stakes because there was a very clear synergy with other portfolio companies or with specific industries. But usually is between, let's say, 2 and 10%.
The audience keeps on cooking. More and more questions coming in. I'll just shoot through. Yesterday we heard a lot about biotech on this stage as well. What do you think about this? Worth looking at it? Worth investing? Everyone's shaking their head. Kari as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to Arta that this is one of the key themes, I think, that we're seeing right now in the Baltics next to space tech. So hence why we are keeping a more kind of deep tech generalist hat on as well, because our geographical focus is that specific.
A specific question from Gohan to you, Carlo. What TRL do you come in to invest? How do you look into And how do you look into medtech hardware, TRL and medtech hardware?
Okay, TRL, we usually invest at TRL 5 and above. So we tend to invest, let me say, slightly later stage than some of the colleagues on stage. As for medtech hardware, if I understand correctly, we have been investing very successfully with already one exit, a very good one, in 2.5 years on medtech devices. So we have a big medtech vertical. Devices is something we have invested so far once with a lot of success. So implantable, this is a procedure, it's not an implantable device, but it's close to an implantable device.
A lot of similar questions. Do you invest into something? The next question is anti-jamming and anti-spoofing technology. You invest in those types of products, speaking from the defense sector maybe. How does this look, Arta?
Haven't done that yet, but
Yeah.
defense tech, we're happy to look into.
That's on the momentum right now, right? Especially
I mean,
in
some of it is really necessary, so.
Same here. We have invested in drones, not yet in the anti-drones.
Next question open to whoever. Should the product or idea be something unique, or is it fine that we are is it fine that there are a few other startups with a similar idea? How do you look at this, at the uniqueness part? I think that's always like a question asked in pitch competitions. What's the unique selling point for you? So let's maybe ponder on this one a little bit more, Hayat, from your perspective.
So in terms of uniqueness, because I normally look at the deep tech, so we have a scientist team like researching on kind of papers and also IPs. So we deep dive into like very detailed parts of the technologies, and we also often ask the advice from our corporate partners who are actively doing a business in that field. So with that kind of information, we will make a decision. And also in terms of the team, it's always good to have somebody who has experiences in the Asian market, because as I discussed in the previous panel discussion, Asian market is quite unique. So having a local network and a deep understanding of the market will be a kind of big advantage when it comes to the getting investment from Japanese investors.
So basically, it depends on the need and the background and the information you gather from that, and basically you don't have to be truly unique, but if it's a need in the market, right?
Yes, right. So because there's no like technology without any competitors, so there is always competitors. So we look at the team and technology and also the market fit for that.
Arta, hardware side?
I keep thinking that uniqueness of the idea is probably not enough, but uniqueness in doing things, you know, something smart about it or something different, that is already interesting. But you know, I guess I'm mostly focused on the execution part, and then that's eventually what matters. You know, the idea can be super cool, but if the execution plan is not there.
Okay, so uniqueness from different perspectives. Good point on that, Ari.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I feel that at least in the investor community, it's a pretty common knowledge that if a startup claims that the idea of theirs is unique and no one else has built anything like this before, it almost makes an alarm bell ring. Is there a big enough market out there for what they're thinking of and what they're aiming to do? So I would say that I much rather indeed see an idea that someone has already tried to succeed at, likely, potentially failed. The startup has also gotten some secondhand learnings from them, and then come around to have an improved approach to the issue. So I think Arta nailed it as well.
Carlo?
For us, I'll be brutal. We don't invest in Me Too technologies. But there are a lot of places where you have markets where there is not a winner takes it all. So that's also important. If it is a winner takes it all, you better be unique, for real. Many B2B markets are not like that. There is space for several players. So you need to have something special, for sure. but it's very difficult that you'll be the only one doing something. If you are special enough, that's great for us.
We have 1 minute left. That means less than 15 seconds for each. The question from my side is, what is a red flag in your eyes when you look at an investment where you like, okay, this is not where I want to go or where I want to invest? Carlo, let's start.
I'll go. The team. If I don't like the team, red flag.
All right, Kari?
I mean, that was my answer as well. The team is the fastest way to know.
Okay, 2 votes for the team. Do you join or something else?
I joined, but for the sake of diversity, the next would be no market.
Market potential. All right, and Hayata?
Team, market, and also the technology background. So if we can understand the technology background, the where it's coming from, or what's the mechanism, because there are a lot of startups that are, of course, it's important to protect their IPs, but if they cannot disclose the minimum level of information for the investors, it's very difficult to kind of distinguish if it's real or fake. So I think that kind of information.
Have to establish confidence and reputation in what you are doing. Excellent. They deserve your round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Carlo, Kari, Arta, and Hayata, thank you for this first round.